we will be using the Sweet Peas stamp set, and I have already pulled out the stamps that we're going to use today and put them in my little silicone tray. That's been one of the best things for me about the Glass Mat Studio. It comes with the silicone tray, and I just put in there the stamps, dies, whatever I'm using for the project that I'm working on, so nothing gets lost, believe it or not. Okay, we are doing a fun fold. I do have a bunch of white that we may or may not use the scraps later. And I've already cut and prepared the paper pieces that we're using today. If you would like to know the dimensions, make sure you come on over to the VIP group, join there, and I will be sharing the paper dimensions there later. But this is an interesting card. It requires a lot of different pieces. We're starting with the Granny Apple Green, and we're going to go ahead and put some of this together. I'm going to glue down a piece of the white. It's going to be a frame for our Designer Series paper here in a minute. Then I have a piece of the Full of Life Designer Series paper. Then I'm going to prepare what we're putting on the front flap, which again we have the white, and we have a piece of the Designer Series paper. So I'm going to glue those together, and then we'll put it on the front. Why I like the white or the liquid glue. It gives me a minute to move my paper around before it sticks permanently. And then we're gonna put this on the outside. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up, just so if anybody leaves a comment or a question, maybe I'll see it. No promises. I'm going to flip this so that it's more in rainbow order. Actually, I changed my mind because we're about to cover part of the bottom, and I definitely want you to be able to see the purple. Okay, we will be adhering a corner keeper to the bottom. And I'm just going to glue the two triangle pieces together. If I can find it, I dropped it off the floor. Glue down, which is never a good plan. going to use mini dimensionals on that to make it easier, give it a little more area to be used as a pocket. So I'm trying to figure out, I want my dimensionals along these two sides. Now I'm going to take all the little back pieces off. Okay, we're going to attach the corner to the front. That just gives it some dimension, and the corner pocket is open. Now, we're going to be making a second card, and we're doing this part kind of backwards. How you generally fold it. Before I put it all together, I'm going to do the stamping that we're doing for this card. But I am going to put a piece of the designer series paper on the front. Then we'll be attaching this on the inside, and this little corner is where it keeps it. Tuck that in there to keep it shut. Okay, but I want to do some stamping. We're going to stamp a birthday P on what goes on the inside of our little card. We're going to stamp him in Greeny Apple Green. Just in the corner. And then use some of my blender pen to pick up some of that green and bring the color into the P. Then I'm going to use some of my other colors that I have out here to color on his hat. This is Balmy Blue, and we're just coloring some of the stripes. And I have dog hair all over everywhere because I dropped something on the floor. Okay. And then I will be pulling out Petunia Pop Purple, and we'll be adding a little bit of this to the other stripes. All right. Now I'm gonna add just this little tiny stamp. I'm not sure what exactly these are, but we're just gonna put a few around because he's having a party. Some purple, some blue, all right. Now the inside of our small card is finished, and I'm gonna go ahead this is not exactly the size we're gonna use, but we're gonna start with it and then trim it. And we're gonna start by stamping our 4 peas in a pod in the granny apple green, and then coloring them in. You can color them darker with a marker if you want to. If I have the granny apple green marker out, I will probably use it for the pod itself. Both ends of that blender pen have gotten pretty tiny and squashed in. It's about time to get a new one. Good thing I have one in my bag over here. Okay. There are all of the peas colored in. Let me see. Granny apple green. And I will use this to color in the pod. Kind of outlining it, and I'll go back with the brush tip. And I'm going to use something even darker for the stem. And I happen to see over here my Mossy Meadow pen, which I think will do a good job up here on the stem. And I see a couple of places that I need to fill in with my Granny Apple Green. And there we have our cute little 4 peas in a pod. Now, I had a plan, but I changed my plan, and I don't think this little strip of green is gonna work. It's not. But this strip of green most certainly will. So, I'm gonna clean off my peas. I'm gonna stamp happy birthday in black on the Granny Apple Green cardstock. And I will trim that in a minute. Right now, we're going to get our small little stamp back that I wasn't sure what it is. And we're going to stamp some party excitement streamers, whatever they are, just around our pod. I have Balmy Blue, Petunia Pop, and Pretty in Pink that we will be using. And then there's one more thing I want to do. To my peas before we're done here. Do some Petunia Pop. And I didn't mean to stamp that right over the blue, but I did. I do mean to stamp that right over the pink. Five is a good odd number. Gonna trim the end, pull out my paper trimmer, and I'm going to trim the end of the piece and a little bit on either side, and then I'm pulling out my Granny Apple Green marker again. Okay. Granny Apple Green. And I'm just going to trace the peas and their faces so that hopefully you can see them a little bit. You don't have to do this part, but I just think the peas are really cute and I wanted to really accentuate them. Especially this little silly one down here with this tongue stuck out. All right, now we're gonna put it all together. Gonna finish gluing the things to the small card. This goes on the inside of the smaller card. Great place to write a message. And I'm going to use dimensionals to put my peas on the front. And I completely forgot to trim a happy birthday while I had my trimmer out. So we're gonna do that right now. First, I'll take all my dimensional backings off. Okay. And there's my funny little piece. I'm gonna trim out the happy birthday. Trim it just a little more. This is always where we get the danger zone. Am I gonna trim too much off? Just a tiny little end of the way. It's okay. That's exactly what I wanted, to be able to still see some white underneath. Now it is going to cover up some of the confetti or whatever those things are, but that's oh, we don't want to cover up our cute little dude with the tongue, and that is not good. There we go. Happy birthday. And then I'm going to put some glue on the back of this. Figure out the best place to put it. Think it'll go right there, yes. And then we just tuck the corner in our little corner keeper pocket. And there we have our bonus Sweet Peas Fun Fold card. Little happy birthday card. You can write your message on it, in it. There it is. I hope you enjoyed this, and come back next week and we will start the featured stamp set for August.